How are you doing, everyone? I am Constance, and thank you for joining me in the next episode of our English class. In this episode, or in this lesson, we're going to be doing story time. All right, story time, and we are at episode 18. Episode 18. If this is your first time here, I thank you so much for being here. All I ask of you is to like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell so whenever I post a video, you will be the a passionate hug. Hearing the chattering, all the men from George's village exited from their rooms to investigate the noise. Instantly, Venus pushed herself away from George's embrace, and shouted, asking, "What the hell is going on here, George? Why are all these men inside our house?" George could tell right away she was trying hard to keep her emotions in check. Therefore, he gently reached for her hands and said, "I'm sorry, Venus. I know this must be a surprise for you, but I thought your father had filled you in on what we were doing here." George continued, "These men are from my village of Bussorah. Like me, they have been through a very difficult time, and I have offered them to come here and work for me and your father in the new oil business. And since you showed no interest of coming back here to live anytime soon, I also offer them a place to stay, at least for a while or until they are on their feet and can afford a place of their own," explained George with an intense look on his face, a look that was telling her that he was being honest or sincere with her. Venus was now somewhat taken aback with George's generosity, but she couldn't shake the many thoughts that kept flipping through her head. Where am I going to sleep? Are these men civil? Will George protect me if any of them should get out of hand and place an harassment and start harassing me? Where were some of the many questions which kept on rolling through Venus's mind? Reluctantly, Venus began climbing the stairs while George reached for her luggage from off the floor and began making his way up the stairs behind her. Meanwhile, all six young men from George's village slowly and somewhat shamefully began disappearing to their bedrooms, leaving the lovers to trash out their differences. With all these men here, where the hell am I going to sleep, George? Bluntly asked Venus. Bernard and Ziggy has been sharing our bedroom with me, but they can easily move out and share the space with Marcus, Todd, and Lenny and Mark. George responded, I'll stick around here for our next few days, probably until New Year's Day. But I'm staying locked up inside my bedroom and I'm never coming out unless you're by my side. That means you will have to serve me breakfast, lunch, and dinner in bed, said Venus, with a smirk on her face and eyes looking wild. Come on, Venus, George exclaimed, with eyes brow lifting. What do you think my brothers are? My friends? They are savages? Cannibals? George questioned, shouting. But Venus cared not to respond and cautiously made her way to the big brown mahogany door where behind it she and George had shared many romantic kisses. And neither did George push for any answers either, but instead he gently shoved Venus out of the way and went knocking on his bedroom door, where he informed Bernard and Ziggy to pack up their belongings and bring them to the other two bedrooms. Without a ruffle, the two men complied, and soon George began changing bed linens to accommodate the woman in his life. Over the next few days, however, Venus came to learn all the facts that George and her father had been going through to get his friends there at Nesbury Hill, and how he had used some of his own savings to pay for their fare so they could start their new position with her father's oil company, and how they coming there to work for her father would bring more gains than losses to the company and also to their family. Nonetheless, despite her initial misgivings, Venus was deeply touched by George's selflessness and dedication to helping others. Can you hear the birds? And helping others, sorry about that. She then realized this was one more good reason why she had admired and loved him so much. So on Christmas Day, Venus gathered everyone together for a special dinner, including Regina Brown, her realtor, and gave each person a special gift, thanking them for the positive impact they have made in George's life in her absence. And one by one she hugged Bernard, Ziggy, Mark, Todd, Marcus, and Lenny, while wholeheartedly uttering words of welcome to the villagers her boyfriend called his brothers. It was a wonderful Christmas day, and a stronger bond had been formed between Venus and George. And from that day onward, Venus and George worked together in helping persons who are in need. Their home was now open to anyone who needed it. And they began working hard to create a community where everyone was welcome and supported.